Hi friends, today we are going to see the past year NEET questions for the chapter Structural Organization in Animals, and today in this video we will cover part 1. So let's begin with the question which was asked in the year 2014. Choose the correctly matched pair. Inner lining of salivary ducts, moist surface of buccal cavity. So you just need to match and see. I will give you the answer here so that you will understand. So the inner lining of the salivary ducts, what do they contain? They contain compound epithelium. So here they have mentioned it as ciliated epithelium. That is wrong. Moist surface of buccal cavity is once again, it is lined with compound epithelium. Again, this goes as wrong. Tubular parts of nephrons, they have cuboidal epithelium, and that is right. And for inner surface of bronchioles, the correct answer is ciliated epithelium. Therefore, the correct answer, the correct one which is correctly matched here is option C. Tubular parts of nephrons consist of cuboidal epithelium. They are lined with epithelium. Therefore, the correct answer is option C. Next question here. The ciliated columnar epithelial cells in humans are known as dash. Okay, what you mean by cilia, or what you mean by the concept epithelium? Maybe we can discuss about that first. Epithelial cells, right? See, when we talk about epithelial cells, you have to remember one thing here. What it contributes, or what is its activity? It is one of the 4 basic types of the animal tissue. So what is epithelium? It is a tissue. Along with connective tissue, muscle tissue and nervous tissue, epithelium also acts as an epithelial tissue which lines the outer surface of the organs and blood vessels throughout the body, as well as the inner surface of cavities in many internal organs. So this is the main function of these epithelial cells, or you can simply call it as epithelium. The ciliated columnar epithelial cells are found in the respiratory tract of humans. So where is it found? It is found in the respiratory tract of the fallopian tubes. Therefore, the correct answer would be bronchioles and fallopian tubes. So you have 2 locations where you can find the ciliated columnar epithelial cells. They are said to line these 2 organs. One is the bronchioles and the other one is the fallopian tube. When we take bronchioles, it consists of the respiratory organ. Therefore, the correct answer to this question is option B. And to your right side, you have the cilia. How does it look? So here you can see. Then you have the globular cell, which is also a part of the epithelial part. Therefore, the correct answer is option B. Next question here. The kind of epithelium which forms the inner walls of the blood vessels. Okay, you're given 4 options here. Cuboidal, columnar, ciliated, columnar. So, I think we discussed in the first question that each organ has a particular lining. Now, when we come to the epithelium of blood vessels, so epithelium is nothing but the lining that is provided for the organs. Okay, now this blood vessels has a kind of epithelium called as squamous epithelium. Squamous epithelium is formed by a thin, how is it formed? Discoidal. Okay, discoidal and polygonal cells. Polygonal cells that fit like the tiles on the floor. So it is called as a pavement epithelium. It is found on the walls of the blood vessels and also in the alveoli of the lungs for exchange of gas, and sometimes also in Bowman's capsule of the nephron, which is used for the ultrafiltration. So what is the squamous epithelium? How can you remember this? This will line the blood vessels, and how is it present? It is found in the form of discoidal or polygonal cells. How do these cells actually appear? If you see, they appear like the tiles of the house, how perfectly they arrange themselves. So sometimes they are also called as pavement arrangement. So the correct answer to this question is option D, squamous epithelium. Next question here. The epithelial tissue present on the inner surface of the bronchioles and the fallopian tube. Again, this is a very easy question for you to answer because we just now discussed about it in the earlier question. Yes, the correct answer is ciliated. Ciliated epithelium has a simple columnar epithelial cells. We discussed about it, right? Where it will line the respiratory tract, or you can say simply bronchioles, and another lining is found in the fallopian tube. But in addition to that, they possess a hair-like outgrowth, which is, so what is the cilia? If you see, they are called as hair-like growth structures. These cilia are capable of rapid rhythmic wave-like beatings in certain direction. The movement of the cilia in certain direction causes the mucus which is secreted by the goblet cell. So I showed you in a diagram where you saw the goblet cell. Now what does this hair-like structure do? They capture unwanted materials so that they don't enter your respiratory tract and the fallopian tube. Both are this very sensitive areas of your body and they require utmost care. So they are provided with the cilia, which these hair-like structures will trap the organisms and the unnecessary things from entering into that organ. So this is a main function of the cilia. That is why you have the lining for the respiratory and the fallopian tube, which are the two sensitive organs that are present in the body. Ciliated epithelium is usually found in the air passages like the nose. You have hair-like structures in your nose, if you can, in your nostrils. So that is once again to trap the unwanted materials from entering into your nostrils. Some dust particles, or it can be any organisms also. So that is basically called as a filtration purpose. Therefore, the correct answer to this question is option B, ciliated columnar. Okay, let's move to the next question here. The cell junctions called tight, adhering and gap junctions are found in dash. So we have junctions. What does a junction do? It will connect. That is the main function of junction. Right. We have junctions for the connecting purpose. The cell junctions known as the tight, adhering and gap junctions are found in the... So where do you think will be found there? Since they are connecting ones, it is not that they will be present in the connective tissues. In case here, they will be present in the epithelial tissues. Epithelial tissues cover the whole surface of the body. It is made up of the cells closely packed and ranged in one or more layers. So you have different layers, right? This tissue is a specialized form of covering or lining which causes the internal and external part of the surface. Epithelial tissues occur on the surface of the interior body when you call it as endo and exo. Exo means outside and endo means inside. That's all. That is the only difference. So here if you see the cell junctions where you have tight junction, adhering junction, gap junction, all are present or all are found in epithelial tissue. Therefore, the correct answer to this question is option B. Okay. Next question here. Simple epithelium is a tissue in which the cells are dash. Again, this question was asked in the year 2000. So we have to analyze one option by option. So is it a hardened, provide support to the organs? No. Cemented directly to one another to form a single layer. Continuously dividing to provide form of an organ? No. Loosely connected to another to form an irregular organ? Wrong. See, simple epithelium will have a simple action. But here if you see, it will be cemented directly to one another to form a single layer. Of course, its basic function is to form a layer. So this is a very simple function in fact, because the function of it is not very tedious. It just have to form a single layer. And that single layer will be formed only when there is cooperation, there is binding and there is connection and they are cemented to one another. Simple epithelium is a tissue that is made up of single layer which is compactly packed. Maybe you can use the word compact there. Tightly packed. Okay, arranged in which the rest over of the molecule, non-cellular basement membrane is found. So this is actually the beginning of a it actually paves way for the rest of the actions to take place. So this is the initial startups, but it has to be very tightly, densely, compact, everything. It has to be packed in such a manner it forms a proper layer. See, as soon as you get hurt, the first thing that scratches out from your body is your skin, right? Your skin, if it is not tightly packed, then all the germs will go inside your body directly and it might cause any severe infections. That is why the overall layer, the single membrane layer, which is your epithelium, gets scratched out. Okay, so the correct answer to this question is option B. Next question here. Stratum germinativum, or you can call it as germinativum, is an example of what kind of epithelium? Okay. You have cuboidal, ciliated, squamous, columnar. Okay, the simple cuboidal epithelium consists of a single layer of, we already discussed, it will consist of discoidal and polygonal cells. I think we discussed about it, right? So same thing falls here. Cuboidal epithelium occurs in the terminal respiratory system, while columnar epithelium is made up of tall cylindrical cells and it will occur in the lining of the stomach. Okay. Ciliated epithelium cells bear cilia and their free surface and they occur mostly in the respiratory tract and the fallopian tube that we already discussed. Now stratum germinatum is an example of what kind of epithelium. If you see, it is a columnar epithelium. So I've explained you where will cuboidal, ciliated, where will squamous. Squamous, as I already mentioned, it will come for blood vessels, lining for blood vessels. Okay, and cuboidal, ciliated we saw for fallopian tube and respiratory tract, right? We saw for respiratory tract. Columnar is the example of stratum germinatum. Okay, therefore the correct answer is option C. Next question here. Basement membrane is made up of dash. Okay, what is basement membrane first of all? Basement, something important then, right? For a building to stand strong, the basement has to be strong, right? Otherwise the whole building will fall. So the basement has to be strong even when you do studies. Only when you know the introduction part, when you are very clear with the basics, only then to understand the complex ones will be easy. Likewise, basement membrane is quite important. Okay, it is a delicate non-cellular cell layer that is made up of extracellular material that lies below the epithelium in contact with the basal surface. Basement membrane is a delicate non-cellular, it's a surface, and beside that the basal laminar consists of the mucopolysaccharide and very fine fibers. So you can call it as a non-cellular organ. Okay, basement membrane, it's a delicate organ. It's no cell at all, but the product is but is a product of epithelial cells. As they have mentioned clearly, it's it's non-cellular, or you can call it as acellular. It's not a cell basically, but still it is produced from the epithelial cell, and it just gives you certain functions, maybe some support system that it contributes for the organs. Therefore the correct answer to this question is option D. Okay, next question here. Epithelial tissue with thin flat cells appearing like packed tiles occur in dash. So this is a very easy question for you because we just now discussed about it, where we spoke about simple epithelium, where you'll have the tile-like appearance, not title, tile-like appearance, right? So usually you're given 4 questions here, 4 options here: cheek, stomach, fallopian tubes and ovary. But what do you think will be the answer here? They are asking about packed tiles. How compact, how tightly they are packed. The correct answer is cheeks. Okay. Squamous epithelial cells have the appearance of the thin flat plates. The shape of the nucleus usually corresponds to the cell form and helps to identify the type of the epithelium. So squamous cells we also saw in the lining of the blood vessels, right? So squamous cells, for example, tend to have a horizontal, so you can call it as horizontal. Okay, horizontal flattened elliptical nuclei below because the thin flattened form of the cell. They form the lining of the cavities such as mouth, blood vessels, heart, lungs, and make the outer surface of the skin. So if you see your cheek, there is blood circulation. That is why we sit and massage our skin. When you massage your skin, there is good blood circulation and thereby increases your tone or the appearance of the skin. That is the main purpose they massage the skin. So blood circulation is around the cheek. So as I already mentioned, there are other organs also it contributes to: blood vessels, heart. These are other areas where it contributes. So the correct answer to this question, this tightly packed nature of tile house appearance, will appear in inner lining of the cheek out of the 4 options given. Therefore the correct answer is option A. Next question here. The layer of actively dividing cells of skin is termed as dash. This is again an easy question for you because we already know what the answer is. It is the innermost one cell thick layer made up of columnar epithelial cells. So now I've given you the clue. It is columnar epithelial cells. Now you have to answer. Maybe it'll be easy for you to answer. Yeah, the answer is stratum malpighi, or you can call it as stratum germinativum. Okay, these cells are active and continuously produce new cells by the mitotic division and thus called as germinative layer. So we all know we have 2 types of cell cycle in our body. One is mitosis and the other is meiosis. Meiosis is a cell cycle which is the sex cell cycle that takes place in organisms, and mitosis is for a single cell repair. Okay, single cell repair. Another thing to add on here is we humans, we do not grow after a particular age. For women it is over 24 to 25, I mean 23 to 24. For men it is 25 to 26. After that we do not grow. So you mean to say that the growth hormone in our body will vanish? No, we still have the mitosis going in our body, where damaged cells or the cells that have lost, I mean, once the lifespan is over, they're all getting replaced. So once again, it's the kind of growth that the body will experience. So that happens with the help of mitosis. So the layer that is actively dividing cells of the skin are termed as stratum malpighi or germinativum. Why that germination word there, if you see? It replaces with new cells. That is why germination is what? Formation of something new. That is why the name is given here. Therefore, the correct answer to this question is option C. Okay, next question here. Hair present in the skin are what? This is an easy question for you. Each hair is present in the tubular pit, which is called as hair follicles, right? That is why they tell you to massage your hair follicles so that new hair grows. Living cells are only present at the base of the hair, known as hair papilla. Rest of the hair is dead and divisible into outer cuticle, made up of cortex and inner medulla. Now you know what the answer is. It is the epidermal in origin and made up of dead cells. So hair present in the skin are the dead cells. Actually, the live ones are present in the papilla. So here you have the, here you can find it, right? Here. I'm sorry, it's here. Okay. So the one that you can see in your body, the physical appearance, that hair is not live one. They are all dead ones. Okay. The correct answer is option A. Okay, next question here. Which type of tissue correctly matches with its location? Okay, this you need to analyze. Smooth muscle wall of intestine, areolar tissue tendons, transitional epithelium tip nose, cuboidal epithelium lining of the stomach. The correct answer is option A. Wall of the intestine is made up of smooth muscle. Tendons, so I will tell you what each consists of. So this is right. Tendons, if you see, they consist of a dense regular connective tissue, and they are actually, they are connective tissues. They are not found in areolar tissues. Tip of the nose consists of squamous epithelium. So what does this consist of? Squamous epithelium. And cuboidal epithelium, if you see, lining of the stomach, if you see, it happens to be columnar. Okay, lining of epithelium is made up of columnar epithelium. Therefore, the correct answer to this question is option A, smooth muscle wall of the intestine. This particular option is correctly matched, while the rest are wrongly matched. Okay. Next question here. Choose the correctly matched pair. Again, you have to check in option wise. Tendon, specialized connective tissue. Adipose tissue, dense connective tissue. Areolar tissue is a loose connective tissue. Cartilage is a loose connective tissue. Tendons are dense, regular connective tissue. So they are not specialized connective tissue. What are they? Tendons are dense. So can we make it like this? Dense. Adipose tissue is a type of loose connective tissue. So once again they made a wrong there. Areolar tissue is a loose connective tissue, and that is correctly matched. While cartilage, if you see, is a type of specialized connective tissue. Okay. Therefore, the correct answer to this question is option C. Areolar tissue is a loose connective tissue, while the rest of them are wrongly matched. Okay. See, these questions are easy. They are direct. You don't have to have much explanation. And the question itself tell you what is the answer. Next question. Given below is a diagrammatic sketch of a certain type of connective tissue. Identify the parts labeled A, B, C and D and select the correct answer in the given below cell. So what do you think will be the right answer? So what is A? A you can see with the shape. A looks as the shape of macrophage. So now I've given you a clue. So A is macrophage, that is for sure. Look at B. Where is B? It is here. It's a fibroblast. What is C? Where is C actually? It's a collagen. And D is large. So they are mast cells. So the correct answer is option A. Okay? See, macrophage, you must have seen how the shape is. When you don't know answers, try to analyze. When you find even one option, then it will be easy for you to select the answer. So always go in for shapes and check. Okay? Next question. The supportive skeletal structure in the human external ears and in the nose tip are examples of dash. So here you have four options. Areolar tissue, I said it's a loose connective tissue, so that is not the answer. And obviously it is not the bone that is present. And what is ligament? Before we go into cartilage, let's discuss what is ligament. See, ligament can be ligament, you have various options, various explanations for that, but that is also a form of connective tissue only. Okay, ligament is a fibrous connective tissue that connects the bones to the other bones. It is also known as articular ligament. You have other names like fibrous ligament and all that. Now what is cartilage? But that is the right answer. Cartilage is the right answer. What does it do? Cartilage, as we already saw in the earlier question, it's a specialized connective tissue. Right? It is a specialized connective tissue. Now that you know the answer, I've given you a clue. It's a specialized connective tissue which is present in the external ears and in the nose tip of humans. Apart from that, anything else that you can talk about cartilage? Any other points to add on here? See, cartilage is a resilient and a smooth elastic tissue which is rubber-like padding that covers and protects the ends of the long bones, sometimes the joints, and also found specifically in the nose tip and the external ears. So you can make it in such a way they are present in the sensitive areas. Okay, therefore the correct answer to this question is option D. With this we complete the structural organization part 1. Structural organization in animals part 1. Hope to meet you in the next part of the same chapter. Thank you.